So you've booked your trip to Prague, not only to experience the beautiful architecture, monuments, and ancient castle, but because you want to witness an actual Czech in her native environment. While the native Czechs still exist here, the city of Prague has, in the last several decades, been taken over by invasive species. The differences are imperceptible at first, but easy to spot once you know what to look for. Today, I'll be your guide as we learn about the creatures who commingle and cohabitate in the golden city of Prague. Prague tourists can be identified by their small, travel-friendly waste bags or lumpy money pouches. Fearing impending attacks by Eastern European pickpockets, they've wisely tucked their valuables into their underwear. However, this method offers little protection, as most phones and wallets go missing on the back seats of taxi cabs and on public bathroom countertops. The Prague expat can be identified by their oversized backpacks, used to lug around their teaching materials, gym clothes, meals, computing devices, yoga mats, and a change of clothes. Because you never know where a Prague evening may take you. The local Czech prefers a more elegant and reasonably sized bag. Any excess belongings will fit into the Lidl bag their mother has been saving since 1990 for just this occasion. The tourist can be spotted speeding the wrong way down a crowded sidewalk on a rental scooter, something the city has banned but has refused to enforce. Don't blink or you'll miss them. You can usually spot the trail of scattered and shocked pedestrians they've left in their wake. The expat prides herself on detailed knowledge of Prague's public transportation network. It's convenient, safe, and always on time. She is also an expert at spotting those plainclothes ticket inspectors just in time to jump off a moving tram. The true Prager does not fully appreciate her city's excellent public transit system. She prefers to buy a foreign car and idle her engine on the streets of Prague in comfort. You can find her parked illegally in front of a driveway, blocking cars, pedestrians, and trams in one expert maneuver. Impressive. The tourist wants to get the most cultural value out of her travels, so she'll talk to anyone, as long as it's in English. After a few chats with her hotel receptionist, her bellboy, her tour guide, she'll publish a travel blog titled "What Czech People Are Really Like," unaware that they were actually Ukrainian, Slovak, and Polish. After thousands of hours of weekly Czech lessons, the Prague expat is not afraid to speak to anyone.
Dobrý den.
In English.
Mluvíte anglicky?
Though native Czechs may appear cold and unfriendly, this is only a facade they have been cultivating for centuries to prevent foreigners from asking them questions. No, they do not know where the nearest toilet is. And no, they do not care to hear about your day at the castle. Milch! There is nothing more tempting to a Prague tourist than taking a selfie with a traditional Czech
Chimney cake.
trdelník.
Chimney cake.
Whatever, call it what you want. She fills it with ice cream and chocolate sauce and then takes 2 bites and 17 photos before tossing it in the garbage. The expat has watched too many Honest Guide videos to ever be caught dead eating a trdelník. Okay, maybe once, and she was drunk. But she didn't let anyone take her photo doing it. It's not an authentically Czech pastry. Although she doesn't know why she or the guy from Honest Guide even cares that much. The local Czech eats rolik dipped in pařížský salad because 1 rolik per day keeps the doctor away. Hold up for 1 second. If you're a tourist in Prague or you're planning on being one in the near future, you might think, who is this chick on the internet making fun of me? I just wanted to visit Prague and eat one of those chimney cake things. I know, and I want that for you too. I won't yuck your yum. In fact, I want you to have the best trip to Prague as is possible. That's why I make these videos, and that's why I'm going to insist that when you travel abroad, you use NordVPN on all your devices. Now, NordVPN is not only my longtime sponsor, but they also keep me and you free from hassle when you travel. Here's how. Have you ever traveled to another country and had all your apps, like your email and your bank website, kind of go nuts? We don't recognize this computer. We think you're a hacker. With NordVPN, you connect to the internet via an IP address in your home country, and your computer will relax and give you access. Or maybe you've had this trip to Prague planned for ages, and now you realize it's right in the middle of playoff season. By logging on from an IP address in your home country, you can access the content that you wouldn't normally be able to access from abroad. It's super easy. Once you're signed up, you just click Quick Connect and you're on, and you let it run in the background. With one account, you can connect on up to 6 devices. Go to the link in the description box below to get a 2-year plan with a huge discount, plus 4 months extra. It's risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. When you do, you help me support this channel, so thank you. The tourist spends their downtime at various pubs and cafes located within the invisible boundary surrounding the center of Prague. They must not breach this boundary or risk getting lost in the land of Panelaki, haunted by the ghosts of communist architects. The Prague expat avoids the city center and foreign tourists at all costs. She prefers to hang out in the local beer gardens with foreigners who live here. And lubi anglicky. The local Czech prefers to leave the city and drive to her cottage because those tomatoes aren't going to pick themselves, and those cucumbers aren't going to pickle themselves. The tourist, physically incapable of leaving the city center, must search for sustenance in local corner markets called večerky.
This water has cannabis in it, and it was only like 300 crowns.
The Prague expat seeks out a more European experience, preferring to peruse the local farmers markets, where she will drink a cappuccino and then order a koshik delivery to her 3rd-floor apartment later that evening.
What? I don't have an elevator.
The local Czech will get in her car and drive to the outskirts of Prague to buy the week's groceries at one of the massive Ultra Alberts or Gigatescos, like she sees Americans do on television.
But I had many coupons.
Prague tourists can be found grazing at the many traditional Czech restaurants within steps of an attractive monument. Seeing the menu written in 12 languages, they assume that this restaurant must be world famous, justifying the 1,000-crown bill at the end of the meal.
Yeah, but that's like $20, right?
The Prague expat, having eaten nothing but pork knuckle his entire first year in Prague, has followed his cardiologist's advice and moved on to a more varied international diet, mostly consisting of fried spring rolls, burritos, poutine, and Detroit-style pizza. Yum! Most local Czechs are a little less adventurous when it comes to cuisine. You can find them enjoying some vepřo knedlo zelo at a jídelna, which is Czech for vegetables not allowed. After calling over the waitress with a snap of his fingers, the tourist will make her stand there waiting while he asks for descriptions of each dish on the menu, even though it's plainly written in English. He will change his mind several times, make substitutions, and request items not on the menu. After the meal, he will profusely praise the chef and leave a massive tip, which will earn him a děkuji, but no respect. The expat will proudly order her meal in Czech. 3 years of Czech language classes certainly pay off. She will smile too often at the server and then feel bad about it. She will tip a small amount and then feel bad about it and tip a little more, which will earn her a děkuji from the server, but little respect. The Czech customer will communicate with the server through a secret Czech sign language. When the bill comes, she will leave the exact change and feel no guilt. And that will earn the server's respect. Prague tourists can be identified by the open cans of beer they brazenly carry in public as if they were raised by drunken wolves. How proud their mothers must be. The expat considers herself a beer connoisseur and will gladly pay 80, 90, even 120 crowns at some trendy microbrew pub. The local Czech, absolutely scandalized by these beer prices, will order half a liter of tank pilsner and drink it standing outside on the sidewalk because watching tourists almost get hit by trams is the best entertainment. After a day of walking more steps than she ever has in her life, the tourist is absolutely knackered. No one warned her about all those cobblestones. She flops on her hotel bed and passes out. Shoes on. The expat is also exhausted from running around Prague all day, from company to language school to private English lesson. Before bed, she teaches 3 more lessons so she can afford next month's rent hike. The local Czech is very family-oriented, and that's why they had to leave work at 4:30.
Because of family.
Her home is her castle, and she treats it as such. There's so much more to see in Prague than you'll find in your guidebook, so if you want to get to know the real Prague and the real Czech people who live here, subscribe to Dream Prague and hit the bell so you get notified of new videos every week. Uvidíme se příště. Ahoj!